Ryan and Scott, if you would please send your website to us so we can make sure we post it.
Go to first one.
Okay.
You're already past that.
Yeah, I'll get it. And then second, I'd like to have your events so we can also post those. So that would be great. And then I want to mention to you those mats, those linguini mats, whatever you want to call the word. I run into them. We install the mini reefs, and I run into them, and we found some ways to get rid of it. But like you said, we're raking the bottom to get them off and bagging it and getting it out. That's the only way we can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Before anybody thinks we're done, I want to just get a show of hands of people that feel right now that you have learned enough at this moment from what you knew before and what you just heard to say that you would support this effort. Raise your hand.
Support and volunteer.
Support however you can. Absolutely. Thank you. That gives us a good barometer. Thank you. And I'm glad you all can leave with that. It is. It is.
Who says no?
Thank you.
Come on.
If you have any additional questions, you can put them in the chat room on Zoom or send them to us and we'll get them out so we can get some answers to them. Okay? Thank you all.
Anybody else have any other questions? Jean, did you still want to make a comment about what's coming up for you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because you're going to be on the November schedule too for what you did in October, right?
I'll have other things.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
good. Go ahead.
So what I've got here, first of all, is our inventory. And I'll go into a little more details than that in a minute. We've got 260 mini reefs in the canal so far. That's pretty good in 2 years. I mean, this is 2000, 2002. We're up to 260. It's pretty good. We have 8 that we've had to repair. So all of the installs we've had to do 8 repairs. We made a change to stainless steel, and it was supposed to be marine grade stainless steel, and it didn't handle the torque and the wave action. So, and where there was a lot of activity, so we had to remove that and go back to the ropes, the marine ropes. So that was some of the repairs, but we only had 8, and we had 1 impacted by Ivan. Came in and we lost one, not lost it. It's not still on ropes on the intercoastal, but it's on, it needs to have some help. October install, 25th of October, we're going to install. We have a handful going in. I've got room for at least 4 more. So please, if you'd like to get a mini reef, give me a call or go on our website and go ahead and order one. They're $325 now. That price will be going up. So if you've got a Christmas present you want to put out, or anniversary present, now's the time to get it while the price is right. Okay, student, we're working with students now. We've got Sarasota High School student, Valerie, and she's starting a science project using Marine's latest science. She's trying to grow coral using this, and she's using this in the canals now to test it. It'll only be about 6 weeks that she does it to check out if this type of mold that they have for corals will work. It's just something that we can help with the different students. So we'll be doing more with students. We're going to go back after the vertical oyster gardens to hang under docks. It'll be free, but we have to get the students to build them and install them. So it'll be something we'll be doing in the spring. Science data collection, we've got our tools, and I'm going to show you the tools. And you guys talked about water quality. What we do is we will be looking at water quality. So I'll give you some of that. But very quickly, I've got about 2 minutes, and then I got to turn it over to Catherine. Here's our inventory. So we got 205 mini reefs we've installed and are in the canal. Now we've installed others, but there are 46 mini reefs outside of the canal that we don't always show in this inventory. So we've got a total of like 251 mini reefs installed. The project started in 2020. And I'm sorry, I didn't change that one. Didn't get time. The next slide is, here's our Grand Canal. We've got it broken up into 4 segments. And why this is important, it's an area we can study. You talked about that mat that they have in the south. Well, we found it up at the Grand Canal section, and we were able to pull it out before it got started. So that was a real important find for us. So we were able to rake it out before it got down to the floor and started to build up. So that's what we're watching as we go around. So right now, the Grand Canal section, the Ocean Beach Sand, the Palm Island, and the Siesta Isles. Those are the 4 sections we're doing. And we'll start looking at each one of them and doing some science. And basically what we're collecting is, as you heard Scott talk about, salinity, turbidity, the pH levels, dissolved oxygen, connectivity, nitrates, and maybe, we're not doing chlorophyll because that's another, we didn't get that device. That's more expensive. So I waited on that one. But other things that are on here for our videos, we're doing colonization. We're looking at how we are increasing the juvenile marine life. We're taking videos of what it looks like when it starts, what it looks like in 6 months, and then what it looks like a little further along. So we can see how we're increasing that population. So connecting with the measurements, we'll be able to understand how we affect the water quality. Then connecting our video evidence, we can show we're making a difference in our environment. The more oysters we can get that will land on our mini reefs, the better the water quality is going to be. But it's going to take a few years. It's not going to happen overnight. But getting those little baby fish in there is going to help all of us so we get all of the waters populated. The next thing, here's our water quality. I'm not going to go through them now, but these are the things we've purchased. We've purchased the quality meters and testers, and that allows us to be consistent with how we go about picking up the information. And we've got different kinds of things to look at: dissolved oxygen, turbidity, connectivity, and temperature. And then this is what they look like. Everything's digital, gets an address with it, so we can keep the information and record it. Then next, this is the kind of charts we can do. We can show how the dissolved oxygen is moving or changing. Now, you're not going to see much because over a short period, it's going to be very close. But what I see from some of our other partners, like Ray Locke in Venice, who's got his area, he's been doing it for over a year and a half, and he's really seeing a change on his, it's actually the turbidity. So that's the clarity in the water. He's seen an improvement in the clarity in his water over time with these things. So that's what we'll also be looking at. All right, not anything. We're going to update the Sarasota County report. We have our final grant report going for them. They helped us get 30 more mini reefs in this area. So we concentrated them in 2 canals here to see what we can do. And now we're going to come back for our final report. That'll be delivered in November. We have, we've been testing different oxygen types of things in the water to see if we can improve both the colonization and species. And what we find is by putting in the dissolved oxygen, we saw in this canal a tremendous amount of difference in growth in juvenile fish as opposed to 3 and 1. Okay, so we'll have more on that later. And then finally, this is another one we're going after now. We just got Lotus Lane just got the stormwater coming in. So we're just starting on that. That's our next project to add, start doing some water testing and understand what that stormwater may be impacting. And that's it. I did that fast.
I guess you can figure out there's a lot going on around here. I mean it. There is always something that you can get involved in and be busy 24/7 or maybe 36/7. That's what it feels like sometimes. So I hope that you all will have found and heard something that you'll want to be part of. There's always something to do. Even the kids from Outdoor Academy have been involved in things. And I've got a recent request from somebody in this group about the Oyster Boys. Who was it that told? Okay, you'll have to fill me in more, but it's like a thing where these guys are called the Oyster Boys, and they actually do the oyster colonization, and they've got a Facebook area. I haven't looked at it just yet, but I do want to learn. We'll talk about that with you. There's lots to do, and oysters are great. Now, one of the things I want you all to know is I'm going to let you go to have dinner. That's a big thing. And we covered a lot tonight, and you all were really patient, especially about a lot of things you probably hadn't heard before, but you'll hear more about them. And if you go to our website and look at the page, there's a lot of articles you can click onto that may have come out over time in the last year that you might want to catch up with. It will help you fill in some things. And I think we have a lot more good things ahead. So thank you all for coming tonight. It looks just great to look out and see the folks that made it tonight. Thank you all.